Oh, hi. Thanks for joining us. Well, today we're going to be installing some Snappads. If you don't know what they are, you're going to want to stay tuned. Welcome back to Vacations in Florida. Today we're going to be installing Snappads under our landing gear pads, and we're going to be installing CLEAR2O water filter system and our whole house water filter system. Alright, so we got a box of Snappads and we have 6 hydraulic jacks. So we're going to have 6 Snappads. So when you open up your box, make sure that you read your directions here. It's a little windy out today. But basically it'll tell you everything you need to do, how to center it up. Here's what your pad looks like, and your foot of your leg is going to go right in the middle. Now when we do this, get you a little bit of Dawn or some kind of dish soap and just put it around the edge, and we'll show you that here in a little bit. And that'll help lubricate this so it'll snap right in, and then you'll get to see how easy this was. Alright, so you all, like I said, you want to make sure you got the ladder up. As you can see, when this legs come up, your rig is going to go up and down, so you don't want the ladder on the ground here while it's doing that. Plus you're going to have to balance your rig again, auto level or however you got to do that. So you want to have this ladder up in all your slides. Right, ready to go. Alright, in preparation for this, we have, if you want to pan around, you can see where we brought all the slides in. And next we're going to make sure this is all ready. We also brought the ladder up on the other side because it's going to require us to pull the jacks up, including the front jack. So we're going to have to hook the truck up as well. And once we set the legs back down, they're going to go right into that Snappad. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lock off of the hitch. Alright, that way we can hook up to the truck. So, next thing you got to do is go get the truck. We got the truck backed up. We're not hooked up yet. We got to lower the front end and get it hooked up, almost like you're going to tow it, but only because you need the front end supported. So we're going to raise it up. We're going to pull these blocks out of the way, and then we're going to set it all the way on the truck. And that way, we're going to probably mount the back 4 first, and then we're going to mount the front 2 pads after that. And then we'll have to re-level everything. So which is one of the reasons why you need to make sure all your slides ring, ladders up, and things like that. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and retract the jacks. Now in this system, your system may be a little different. These are all hydraulic, not electric. So I'm going to retract the rears. We'll watch for those to come all the way up. Okay, these Snappads, I notice they come with these tags on them. We're just going to pull those off. They're stapled on. And I'm going to get those staples out of there. Alrighty. So basically with the quick tips they have here, you're going to, the says to install one at a time. Well, you're going to have to raise and lower and raise and lower. And we're going to get probably 4 at a time. We're just going to take our time, we're going to inch them down, make sure they all get lined up. So the first thing we're going to do is get 4 ready. Okay, I'm going to take some dishwashing soap here. And we're just going to line around the lip here, the beveled edge of where the pads are going to sit as they try to squeeze in. So basically what's going to happen, this is all rubber, kind of some kind of hard rubber, but the pads are going to come in, they're going to be about the width of this, and they're going to have to squeeze down under this little lip here that's beveled. Now the reason for getting these, basically it'll save wear and tear on your landing gear when they hit rocks and uneven surfaces and stuff like that. And it'll create a little bit more friction as well. So you don't have to worry about legs sliding when you're on slippery surfaces. Okay, fortunately I have a circle here showing where it was, so I'm going to line it up, and then we're going to place all these other ones under all the pads. And then as we inch these down, when it gets down to about here, we'll know how to line this thing up, and then it's just a matter of going down with your landing gear and pushing it all the way in. And we'll show you that here in a minute. The trailer is level. We got our pads that look beautiful, and they're a lot more secure. You can see they cover more area than the normal metal pads did. And they're going to work real good. They won't fall off. You don't have to worry about that.
Dixie.
They are on there because the pressure of the weight of the trailer has installed them on. So I don't even know if you could pull them off right at this point. You might have to cut them off. But anyway, we're going to get the slides out. Okay, the last thing, which was the first thing we did, install your hitch pin lock. And we're done with Snappads. Now we're going to move on to installing the water filter. Okay, we are at our home base. We're back into our driveway, and we're going to install this CLEAR2O water filtration system. Now it comes in two parts. It's a little more expensive, but it's going to replace that blue thing we bought from Camco. So it comes, you got to buy this part separate, but because it filtrates so much, it would clog up pretty easy if you just bought this alone. So you have to buy a pre-filter, which is this thing here. And so when you get it, take the cap off, take a look, and here's your filter. That's what it looks like. Just kind of take a look, make sure there's nothing in there. That's what the interior looks like. Okay, then you put it back together. Put the cap back on. You always want to check that. You never know what's in there. And you're going to be drinking out of this, so it's very important. Now it comes with this nice little wrench. Put it on top. Alright, so you want to have it snug. You don't want to over tighten this, but you're going to have pressure in here, so you want to make sure that it's snug enough so you don't have any water leaks. Now we're going to take the plastic bag out of this. We're going to take the plastic bag off of that. And we're going to, and there's a little plastic piece in here. So flip this upside down. And there's one more plastic piece on this end. It's got an arrow. so you can see what the direction of the flow of water is going to be. It's going to go in here is your pre-filter, and it's going to come out and go through this main filter. So you want to make sure the arrow's right. Now, you can't mess it up because there's a male fitting in there. And we're going to screw that in. Now the old filter, we were able to put this in our water bay. This one's a little too big for that, so we're going to have to hook it up to the water spigot. Tighten that up good. All right, we're going to plug this little lead on. Once again, you want to make sure it's in there good so you don't get no water leaks. If you need one, it actually comes with this little union here. So we're not gonna need that. We're gonna plug this directly onto the hose. Now before I plug anything in, I'm gonna check it out and make sure that we got water flow. There you go. You can see the water flow coming out the other end. Cut that off. Tighten this. Guess I got a little leak there. All right. Okay, now we're going to put our regulator. If you don't have one of these regulators, you need to get one. We bought a cheap one that looks just like this, and the gauge part of it failed on us. So I just bought this one. It's from Nader. It seems like that's what everybody's buying. So we're going to kind of check it out and see how it works for us.
It's got water in it.
It's probably coming from my hand.
In there.
Oh, that's fluid. Yeah, it's a fluid fill. That's oil-filled gauge. Those are your best gauges, okay?
That's cool.
All right. So you got an arrow right there. That's your direction of water flow. So you want it to go through the regulator first and then go to the gauge. That way you can regulate what your particular camper pressure should be. We're going to plug the hose in. Make sure all the dirt's out of it. Alright, so before you turn on your city water connection in your camper, you want to adjust your regulator pressure going through this gauge here. That way you don't over pressurize your system. Have yourself a little flathead screwdriver. On the end of this is a screw, and it's got a plus and a minus. So that's regulating down, or the plus is regulating up, depending on where you want it. For us, we use it at 45 psi. Now we haven't turned on the water pressure in the trailer yet because we want to make sure this is adjusted correctly first. So we're going to turn that on. Okay, we did have a little leak right at the top of this little hose that they give you. So what I had to do was get another O-ring and put it in there, and it seems to have stopped it. So something just to be aware of. Alright, let me turn this. Alright, so right now we're reading about 50, a little over 50 psi. So we're going to crank that down. We're going to get it down to about 45 there. You can see the needle coming down just a little bit there. So we don't want too little, but we don't want too much either, because that'll burst your pipes. Okay, we're set up. Now we've got the filter bowl full, so there's no air in that system. That's another reason why you want to get this filled up. We have completed. Now we're going to show you where we're going to turn this on to city water on this Nautilus panel. Basically all I have to do is move this green over to the left, just like it says in there. And now we have city water. Now we're going to change the whole house water filter system. But before I do that, we're getting rid of this. Now it was nice. This is a Camco water filter, and they're okay. But we're going to make sure we're okay by using that CLEAR2O, and we'll tell you later how that works. So off with that. Now we're going to change this filter that goes to a whole house water filtration system. It's a conditional filter to what we're already running. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to city water, or I'm sorry, dry camping, which is right here. That way we make sure that the water is turned off to this. And now we're going to get our wrench. Now this comes with your rig, and this is for your filter can. So we're going to put this up here to where it'll grab, and we're going to loosen that housing. We'll get a little bit more on it there. Not the greatest, but it does the job. Now you're going to have a little pressure come out. One thing we can do, since we have pressure, turn this on, and we'll press this, and this will kind of release some of that pressure. Pouring out the bottom. Just make sure all your water is turned off before you start this, otherwise you're going to have a spray. Alright, and that's the filter.
That's dirty, I think.
Yep. Now check out, can you point down in there, see how dirty that is? Alright, that's why we need to change this filter. So we're going to toss that with the other one. We're going to pour this dirty water out, but we will fill this back up before we get this all plugged back in again, because you don't want air in here. You want to fill this up with water. Alright. Okay, we're going to clean this up because there's a little bit of dirt in there. I got a little rag, and I can get my hand in there. If you can't, you're going to have to use something to stick it down there. But it's going to go through the filter, but you still want to clean up what you can. You don't want to get your filter dirty before it's time. Alright, it looks pretty good. I'm going to take the plastic off. Now I did get these on Amazon, and they came in a 4-pack, which I would recommend. That way you don't have to keep ordering them every month. Alright, make sure you got all the plastic off of it. The open end here, it's going to go in, and it's actually open on both ends, so it shouldn't matter. And there's a little piece that sticks up that fits inside there. So you just center it up and slide that right in. Make sure it goes in there, and it is. Alright, we'll be back in a second. I'm going to fill this up with water. We've added water to our filter housing here. You can see this is floating, so I'm going to push that down a little bit. Make sure it's centered. And then we're going to screw that right back on. We're going to take our little wrench and tighten it up just a little bit. Don't over tighten it. Just want it snug. Almost there. There we go. Now we're going to go turn our water system back on. I had it snug down. Alright, here we go. Turn the water on. Hello again, and I found out afterwards that there was no O-ring in the housing, and never was. So I ordered a set, and I'm waiting for them to come in. But this pretty much concludes the installation process. That's all you need to do, and we hope that you enjoyed this video. So if you run across this same problem, double check, make sure that O-ring's in there. We'll see you next time.